this evening. I've started this now, I think, 4 times, and I keep getting disconnected. So I'm hoping that it will stay going this time. I'm very sorry. It is now 7:29, and we were supposed to be wrapping up about this time. We will have this available on YouTube. We also will have a PowerPoint demonstration available that you can download. It will be on the website tomorrow in the consultant area. You can download that for your personal use or for training of consultants for the future in the future. So I know compliance training is not really something that's a lot of fun, but it is something that's very necessary. And I'm going to try to make this as painless as possible, and hopefully that it will be beneficial to you. We're going to do this in 4 sessions. Each one is 30 minutes, and I'm going to do it every Monday evening from 7 till 7:30, and hopefully next week will go much more smoothly. The purpose of compliance training is to basically keep you and me from getting sued and to keep the company from getting shut down, and that's just pretty much bottom line. It's equally important for the consultant as it is for the company. We need to work together as a team to make sure that everyone involved is in compliance with the company policies, the Fair Trade Commission policies, the direct sales industry policies, and that we're doing everything we're supposed to do and dotting our I's and crossing our T's. When you enrolled as a NasCia Naturals consultant, you were given a policy and procedure handout that's several pages in very legal, technical language. And I know it's not much fun to read, but I do suggest at times that you go back through that. The information that we're going to be going over, the majority of it does have come from the policy and procedure manual. I'm just trying to make it a little more plain English and explain it a little better than what's written in the legalese. But in the policy and procedure manual in section 12, there was a code of professional ethics, and I am going to read that. It's just a paragraph. It's based on the Direct Selling Association information, and it's NasCia Naturals LLC believes that its consultants should subscribe to the principles of fairness, honesty, integrity, and service. The relationship of the company to its consultants, consultant to customer, and consultant to others should be preserved, protected, and promoted in accordance with the highest standards of conduct. Therefore, consultants agree to abide by and subscribe to the code of professional ethics contained in this section. Now, as I said, that is from section 12 of your policy and procedure manual, and it also will be on the PowerPoint presentation that you download, and you can read through those little bullet points and make sure that if you have any questions on those after you read them, that you give me a shout and let's get those questions answered. But I think that in the 4 30-minute times of training that you will get all your questions answered. If you are on the call live tonight, you will have an opportunity to ask questions at the end. If you're not on the call live, once you watch the video, then please feel free to email me any questions that you might have, and I will get you an email answer back to you. There are 2 main types of compliance or non-compliance that is most often looked at by the government entities, Fair Trade Commission, so on, and that is product claims and income claims, or earnings claims. And we're going to be going through those tonight, along with some other things on sponsoring and training. Product and service claims. Consultants shall make no claim, representation, or warranty concerning any product or service of the company except those expressly approved by the company or contained in the official company materials. That is from section 9Q of our policy and procedure manual. And basically what that is saying is that we do not make any claims regarding our products or misrepresent the company when we're talking about our products to customers or prospective consultants. One of the items that I want to make sure that we cover here this evening is that we are not an organic skincare cosmetic company. Many of our products contain over 70%, some of them as high as 100% organic ingredients. But we are not certified organic by any agency, and therefore you cannot say that we are an organic skincare company or that our products are all organic. You can state what is on the label of the product, and whatever is on that label, if it is organic, I have organic written on the label. The ingredients in your labels are listed in descending order from the one with the highest volume count being the first on down to what we use for preservatives is usually the least of volume. So we need to make sure that we understand and why we're not considered an organic company. It's very costly, for one thing, to get your company certified. Every product has to be evaluated. You have to go through a lot of processes to be certified as an all-organic skincare company. And so, therefore, I am not going that route. I would much rather say we're natural. And I realize that there are going to be times that you're going to run into people that say, well, there's a lot of things that's natural, it's not good for you, and that's very true. But we do not use any parabens. We do not use any petrochemicals. We do not use any artificial dyes. We do not use any artificial fragrances in our products. So they are healthy. Many of our products are gluten-free, and I try to always remember to put that on the label. So if you have questions on the labels, please contact me in writing. You can give me a call if you would like, but I prefer to have it in writing so I have some documentation that I have answered your question for you. Sometimes I get busy and can't remember whether I do or not. So please send it to me by email if possible. We do not want to make false claims regarding what our products can do. I have people say, well, if I use this product, how soon are my wrinkles going away? Well, I can't tell somebody that something is going to cure them or it's going to fix any ailment that they may have or that it's going to cure any skin problem that they have. And you cannot tell someone that either. Every person is an individual. Everything reacts differently on a person's skin. People have different reasons for having skin issues. Some of it may be age. There could be one person that has eczema and they use XYZ product and it works great. Another person can have eczema, use XYZ product, and it doesn't seem to give them as much relief or help them as much. So we can't make any false claims regarding what our products can do. That's why we have a 30-day money-back guarantee with receipt, no questions asked. If we have a person that tries one of our acne products and they don't feel that it's giving them the results they want, I recommend they try one of our others. We have several. The same with our lotions, our soaps, any of those types of things. I always try to recommend, and I suggest you do that they try something else. But if they don't want to, that's fine. We will give them a refund within 30 days. I think it takes 30 days for someone to try a product to get a full understanding for themselves as to whether that product is going to work for them or not. I always tell people, and I try to remember to always tell this to my customers, that there is no substitution for asking your physician. And I suggest many times, and I've had several of my customers do this, that they will take their product that they have purchased to their doctor, have the doctor read the label, and determine whether they think that's something that will be okay for them to use. And so far, I've not had anyone come back and say, no, the doctor didn't said I couldn't. So anyway, just FYI, just to cover yourself, do not make false claims. The next area that we're going to be discussing is relabeling of our products. NasCia products have to be sold in the state that they were given to you in, or that the customer purchased them in, or what came in your kit. They cannot be relabeled. We do not allow any consultant to repackage products. So in other words, you cannot take a full-size bottle and put it in a smaller bottle and sell it, or give it to someone to try, even as a sample. We have trial size that we keep on hand of all of our products, that if you want to buy those and give a sample to someone, you can do that. But it has to be labeled and has to have an ingredient label on every single product that goes into a customer's hands. And so therefore, it's just easier. And I know that myself, I do not ever give a customer a little bottle. Now, I have a consultant and thought about it after the fact and realized I should not have done that. I should have had it labeled. But from here on out, we will make sure that everything that leaves the premises of NasCia Naturals will have a consultant label, and a product label and ingredient label on it. Your testers must be clearly marked as testers. You can get little labels and type out tester and stick it on there. You can purchase tester labels. Whatever you want to do about that, I do not have any problem with it, as long as it is labeled. Whether you're doing an individual presentation with one person, or whether you're doing a full party, or you're working an expo, you must have your tester labels on your bottles. Also, you cannot sell any of your tester products. You're welcome to use them for your personal use. If they're out of date, if you've had them over a year, you need to dispose of them. You need to quit using those as a sample. And they have a shelf life. Our products have a shelf life of a year, unless I tell you differently. And so please keep that in mind. Next, we're going to be covering income claims. In their enthusiasm to enroll prospective consultants, sometimes consultants get the urge to tell their prospects that how much they make, or what that's possible for them to make, and that is really misrepresentation of the company. We can show the compensation plan and answer questions that the prospective consultant might have. But if you have an example, would be you might be a full-time person with NasCia and do 2 shows a week. And if you're talking to a prospective consultant that has 2 children and a full-time job, and she's only going to do it a couple of hours a week, showing her what you make really has no bearing on what she can make. And even if it's 2 people working part-time, you can't judge what someone else is going to make. You don't know what their clientele might be like, who their friends are, whether they have money, don't have money, whether they really have the urge to work at it. So it's just better to show the compensation plan and let it go at that. We have the belief that our compensation plan is one of the best in this industry. We have worked very hard on it. We've had it reviewed, and I'm confident that the compensation plan will speak for itself as to the potential for people to make money if they choose to work. And we certainly don't want to ever report earnings of other people. That's an absolute no-no. Also, it's not just company policy, but the Fair Trade Commission and many states actually have laws and or regulations that regulate or even prohibit certain types of income claims and testimonials made by persons engaged in network marketing. I have been to network marketing events in the past where somebody would get on the stage and show their check and their pay stub and what they've made and just go on and on about it, and that is illegal. It's unethical, and whether it's illegal or not in the state that you live in, but it is unethical, and so please don't do that. And like I said, I know they think it may be beneficial to show copies of checks or to disclose to others what they earn, but such approaches have legal consequences that cannot be undone. And it can cause a lot of problems for you as a consultant and for us as a company. A consultant, when presenting or discussing the NasCia Naturals opportunity or the marketing compensation plan, you can answer their questions regarding the compensation plan. I've drawn up a little thing based upon the number of dollars that the average sale it has been for the past 2 years, and the average number of people that have attended parties for the last 2 years, and figured out how much I thought a consultant could make based upon doing X amount of parties per week. And I do have that available. It's not written in stone. It's just a suggestion that this is a possibility. But we really have no idea because, like I said, you don't have any idea how much someone else is going to do and whether the economy is going to change, or you just have no idea. So it's best just to not make any claims and just show the compensation plan and let it go. The next thing that we're going to be talking about this evening is sponsorship. We only sponsor other consultants in the United States. We do not work in any foreign countries. Our products cannot be shipped to foreign countries, and so therefore we are not ever going to be, well, I shouldn't say ever, but at this time we do not plan on having any consultants out of the United States. It is the sponsor's responsibility to make sure that each consultant has been trained. And we've been small, and so locally I have trained all of the consultants. People come here and I provide the training. Henceforth, that's not going to happen. I will be training on video some. Those will be available on YouTube. I will also do training of my direct recruits, people that I have personally hosted into NasCia Naturals, but it will be the consultant's responsibility that sponsors someone to ensure that that person is adequately trained, and it will be their responsibility to make sure that they have all the tools that they need to do their job. A consultant is compensated only for the generation of sales volume, and they are not compensated for recruiting or sponsoring new consultants into NasCia Naturals. So what that means is that you make commission on the sales of people in your organization when they have reached the level that they need to, where you can be making commissions. And so you are paid a commission, which is in the compensation plan, but you do not receive payment for hosting someone into the business, and you do not make money off of their the sale of their kit. And that is also in our policy and procedure manual. It's the sponsor's responsibility to make sure that each new consultant has access to the policy and procedure manual, that they have gone through the policy and procedure training within the first year, that will be available on the YouTube channel. And then also that they understand their consultant agreement, that they understand our return policy, and that they have had the training that is required by the company when they get started. They will receive their training manual from the company along with their starter kit, and then their sponsoring consultant will be responsible for making sure that they are trained on that manual. It is the sponsoring consultant also needs to keep records of training that they have done with their consultants. At any time, the company might ask to see that training record, so please make sure that you keep accurate and good records. Multiple agreements. This has not happened at this time, but it is something that you need to be trained on. It is part of our compliance, our policy and procedure manual, excuse me. And so I want to make sure that I clarify any questions that you might have on this. And I'm going to use an example. Say that you have met someone at your son's soccer game, and you're telling her about what you do, and you're excited. And so she meets with you, and you show her NasCia Naturals, and she says, well, I want to become a consultant. So you have her fill out a consultant agreement. She signs it and says, oh, but I can't pay you until payday. You say, okay, I will hold it. As soon as you get paid, come see me. We'll get the money sent in, and you'll be my consultant. You'll be in my organization. Payday comes, she goes to the hairdresser to get her hair cut before she swings by your house, and she's all excited and tells her hairdresser that I'm going to be a consultant for NasCia Naturals. The hairdresser says, well, I'm a consultant for NasCia Naturals, and I've been cutting your hair for 10 years. You need to sign up with me. She says, well, I don't know. Well, okay, you've been cutting my hair a long time, and I just met her at the soccer game. So she signs another application. And in the meantime, you think, well, I'll go ahead and send the application in to the company. And when she pays, she's going to pay by credit card. We'll just get it done, and it's already done and dated. So I'll just send it on to the company. So you email it, fax it in. And I have it on my desk, and in comes another application with a later date with the money. The policy on that is the one that comes in with the funds is the one that will be the predominant one. And the company decision on that is final. I'm very sorry, but sending in an application without money doesn't make it a good application. So be sure that you follow up with your prospective consultants. If you had one that has filled out an application and you're holding that application, follow up. And but that is the multiple agreements scenario, and so it can happen. And as I said, the decision of the company is final on that, where there's no discussion. It's just whoever gets it in with the money. As I had said previously, consultants are required to make sure that their prospects have adequate training. And as a sponsor, it is your responsibility to have an ongoing professional leadership role with your consultants. It is not my job to do that for you. It is your job. It is your responsibility. When you host someone into the business, they are not your employee. You're not their manager, but you are their leader and their teammate. And so it's very important that you work with that person closely and help them, hold their hand, go to meetings with them to get them going, whatever you need to do to get them to the point of being successful so that they're happy with their results. And I want to reiterate one more time that a consultant must be able to provide the company with evidence of ongoing fulfillment as sponsor responsibilities, and that includes training. So if you bring in consultants, make sure you keep very good, accurate records. Transfer of sponsorship. This one we have not had yet, but as a company grows, it's very often that something like this happens. A consultant might not like their sponsor. They may not agree with the way the sponsor works. They may have a friend that is in another organization and they want to trade over and go over and be with that friend. There's a lot of different reasons that people will want to change sponsorship. Personally, I'm not in favor of doing that. It would probably be very rare that I would ever grant it if I was doing that. If I had that request, the request does have to be done in writing, and it has to be sent to the upline of the individual that is wanting to transfer, and it also has to be sent to the corporate office. I would look into why they were wanting to change, what the reasons were, and would make a decision based upon their reasoning. An entire organization cannot request a transfer to another sponsor. If it is allowed for a person to change sponsors, then they would lose their organization. So they could, if it was granted for them to change, they would move over to their new sponsor, but anyone that they had hosted into the business would remain with the original organization, and that group of people would roll up to the next level. So just make sure that you understand that that's how that works. If, as we grow, if you have someone that might want to change at some time, keep that in mind. Also, we have a $50 transfer fee set in our policies and procedures that requires paperwork, and it requires a lot of investigative work, and so there is a $50 transfer fee. If granted, the final approval of the company is sent back to both the upline of both organizations and to the consultant that's wanting to transfer in writing, and that's in form of a letter and not email. Next, we're going to talk about trademarks, literature, and advertising. Trademarks, the company's name, our product names. Some of our things, our company name is copyrighted, but we own the names of our products. So only the company is authorized to produce and market products and literature that is used to be used by consultants. I know that a lot of people like to develop their own tools, and they think that that's going to be easier or cheaper or whatever than using company tools. But it is not allowed, and you need to make sure that if you're using the name NasCia Naturals, you are using NasCia Naturals, LLC, and you have to, for instance, I'll give you an example, and this is also in the PowerPoint presentation, but you have to have written authorization from the company to use the company name in any way, in any manner. But if you are authorized to use it, an example would be Mary Jones, Independent Consultant, NasCia Naturals, LLC. So therefore, you have to ask the company, number one, to use the name, how you're going to use it, where it's going to be used, and then you will receive a written notice back via email as to how to set it up. The one exception, business checks, you do not have to request that. You can do business checks and have NasCia Naturals on it, it would just be Mary Jones, comma, independent consultant, NasCia Naturals LLC. I have no problem with that. That has been approved and is in the policies and procedure manual. And so feel free to do that. We are always open to suggestions. I love having the consultants make suggestions as to marketing tools, things that they think might work. And please feel free to send those to me. I will review them, be happy to do that. If I decide to use them, I will certainly give you the recognition for making that recommendation. But it does become, once we decide to use those, they do become, the company is the owner of those products, and they will be company property. I realize that telephone books are kind of going out of style, but there are white page listings online that you can participate in. There's also yellow page listings online. Next week, we're going to be talking more about social media and a lot of online things. But this week, I just want to touch briefly about this because it is part of the marketing and trademarks. You cannot use the company name in a yellow page or white page listing unless you ask for the company in writing. If it is granted, there again, it has to be Mary Jones, independent consultant, NasCia Naturals LLC. Many times, say you may have a company of your own that has its own name, and say XYZ Naturals selling NasCia Naturals LLC. You would probably be approved for that. I don't see why you wouldn't. It's advertisement for the company, but you do need to request it in writing. Imprinted checks we went over, so that's a given. You can do that. Business cards, letterheads, brochures, anything like that. You have to use company provided or company sold tools. We have our business cards come from Vistaprint. You can either order them through us or you can order directly through Vistaprint. However, I don't mark up anything. I charge you exactly what I pay for them, plus shipping. So you would have to pay that also. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it, but you do have to use, we all use the same business card, me included, and that's going to remain that way. All of our marketing materials, our brochures, we have invitations, we have postcards, we have order forms, all types of things. They have the NasCia logo, and you can buy those through NasCia, but you cannot reproduce any of those. You cannot take them and make copies off of them. You have to use our marketing materials. Only the approved graphics of our logo can be used. I have shared the logo on occasion for someone to use, but it has to be requested, and I have to know what you're going to use it on and how long it's going to be used, etc. So please be sure that you do not break those rules. If you want to do trade shows, which I highly recommend that you do events starting in March or April, there's about every weekend, there's an event here in Kansas City. And they're great ways to meet people. They're great ways to get new customers. It's a great way to make money. If you have other consultants in your group, you can get some together and go do it together. And it's a lot of fun. But you probably are going to need a banner. And most all places that you do shows, you need a banner. You need something showing the company name. I do not have a problem with that. I do want to know what you're doing. what kind of banner you're having made. I need to see a picture of that. And you need to get the approval of the company. I order my banners through Vistaprint. They're very reasonable. You can buy stands. I have a company that I can buy stands from, very reasonable. So if you want that information, please contact me and I will make sure that you get it. But banners are great for getting the NasCia Naturals name out. If you have a company name, you might want to put your company name on the banner and then selling NasCia Naturals, skin naturals and organic skincare and cosmetics. And I did not say NasCia Naturals organic skincare. I said NasCia Naturals natural and organic skincare and cosmetics. The main gist of this training is just to give you information to keep you savvy on what is required. And I know some of it doesn't make sense and some of it doesn't make sense to me, but that is what it is. And we have to be very careful, because once a company starts growing and you have people all over, you may have consultants in 4 or 5, 6 or more different states, and you as a sponsor are responsible for what they're doing, as well as the company is responsible. So as long as I can train you and we work together, then we will be in compliance and we won't have to worry about somebody coming knocking on our door. That's going to wrap up the training for tonight. I don't have any questions coming through, so that's good to go. You can find this YouTube channel. And once again, thank you. And I appreciate you taking your time to watch this. If you have questions, please email them to me. And again, the PowerPoint presentation will be available on our NasCia Naturals website in the consultant area tomorrow. Thank you and have a great night.